Panhandle was the nickname of one of the predecessor railroads that later became the Pennsylvania Railroad's route between Pittsburgh and Columbus. As other lines west of Columbus to Cincinnati, St. Louis, and Chicago via Bradford came under the influence of the Pennsy, they came to be known as the Panhandle as well. 25 years after the demise of the Pennsylvania Railroad, portions of Conrail are still referred to as the Panhandle. Volume 3 of the Panhandle covers the route from Buckeye Yard west of Columbus to both Conway and Pitcairn Yards near Pittsburgh. Some of the footage from the Panhandle Volumes 1 and 2 have been included to complete the continuity of this tape. Beginning at Pennsylvania Station in Pittsburgh, the Panhandle extended west to Newark, Ohio, where trackage rights over the Baltimore and Ohio C&N Division were utilized for the last 35 miles to Columbus. Scully was the original Panhandle yard in Pittsburgh, but was downgraded in later years as Panhandle crews utilized Pitcairn and Conway yards. During the late 1960s, Buckeye Yard was built by the Penn Central to consolidate the scattered PRR and NYC yards around Columbus. Yards A and B, the Panhandle yards replaced by Buckeye, were located east of Columbus Union Depot. Shot from the Trabue Road overpass, we are looking north toward the Buckeye Diesel Shop. An office car special behind the 4022 changes crews at the Hump Crossing. The 4022 was previously Erie-Lackawanna number 833. Buckeye is oriented north and south between the PRR's Columbus-Dayton and Columbus-Bradford main lines. These two routes connect Buckeye to the C&N Division in downtown Columbus. The south route leaves the yard at East Alton, passing Miami Crossing, GN, Scioto, High Street, and enters the C&N Division at US Tower. Passing North Alton Interlocking aboard an eastbound, we meet a westbound entering Buckeye on the Miami inbound at East Alton, 6 miles west of High Street. What appears to be a hot journal is actually a trash fire south of the tracks. Milepost 3.4 was the site of Miami Crossing Tower and the former Big Four Columbus-Cincinnati line. This westbound coal train should have enough power to handle the 1% grade to East Alton. GN Tower guards the crossing with the B&O's Midland subdivision to Cincinnati. After the closing of GN Tower, WVI-5 negotiates the Auburn track, the connection with the former New York Central and the Miami side number 2 track. The brakeman is opening the electric lock switch from the Auburn track to head west to Buckeye. Depending on the yardmaster's preference, WVI-5 could have used the alternate route entering Buckeye Yard from the north end by way of the Mounds connection. Both double-track routes between High Street and Buckeye Yard were signaled in both directions, a feature used to good advantage as westbound DJ3 uses number 1 track to pass WVI-5 in order to continue to Cincinnati and its connection with the Louisville and Nashville. Scioto Tower, the only tower still open in Columbus in 1993, controls the Miami side crossing with the Chesapeake and Ohio and the Toledo and Ohio Central. The Miami side bridge over the Scioto River, built in 1914, is a rare combination of low truss and through truss spans. The crossing watchman protected the Chestnut Street and North Alley crossings. At High Street Tower, the Bradford side joins from the left. Leaving the yard at Buckeye Interlocking, Panhandle crews used the Bradford side past Mounds and Olentangy before joining the Miami side at High Street. At the north end of Buckeye's departure yard, 7880 leads Selkirk-bound OV8 past North Tower, which houses the trainmaster and north end yardmaster. The Buckeye operator was located in the one-story building visible behind the caboose. We are aboard the Columbus Terminal Helper, backing west of Buckeye Interlocking to head downtown to shove an eastbound. This short section of single track through Buckeye Interlocking was a frustrating bottleneck on the multi-track Panhandle. At the east end of the interlocking under I-270, the tracks are from the right, Track 1, Track 2, and mound siding. Mounds Interlocking is the Bradford sides crossing with the Toledo and Ohio Central. Mounds Tower was in this quadrant of the crossing before the connecting track was built. We are looking south on the T&OC. The recent derailment of a grain train took its toll of the crossover in the east end of the plant. At Treview Road in the village of San Margarita, we meet westbound PR9 with a cotton belt caboose. At West 5th Avenue, the PR9 clears the signal bridge. Later, AST2 passes the same location. Known as the Astronaut, AST2 was a run-through train from the Santa Fe to the Penn Central via the Toledo, Peoria, and Western. Viewed from the Grandview Avenue Watchman's Tower, the Astronaut stops to make a set-off at the Stone Yard, so named for the nearby Marble Cliff Quarry. The crew unlocks the hand-throw switches to enter the west end of the yard.